n8n native data tables just went live, and this is about to change the way we are dealing with leads inside n8n. So we won't need to connect Airtable or Google Sheet anymore. So in order to benefit from this latest feature, you'll need to make sure that your n8n version is at least 1.113.1. If this is not the case, you will need to update your instance. Now I will show you exactly how we scrape LinkedIn, get people's email addresses, and add them back inside this native database. So first of all, you will need to go inside your project, and then you will see different tabs: workflows, credential, executions. These were there before, but there is a new one: data tables. So here you'll need to click on this arrow and create a data table. As the next step, you will want to make sure that you have first name, last name, LinkedIn URL, summary, lead ID, company name, profile URL, title, email status, and created that and updated that is already there, so you don't need to touch that. As the next step, we are going to create our LinkedIn scraper using API. So we'll be using two different workflows. We'll be using this one to trigger the scraper, and we'll be using this one to collect leads and add them to the database. So first things first, we'll need to create the search query. In order to create the search query, we'll remain on manual. Here we'll enter the different parameters. Then we are going to click on JSON, and we are going to copy everything and go back inside n8n. We are going to use a manual trigger, but we could also run this on schedule. And then we are going to use an HTTP node, which is going to use a post method. We'll worry about the URL authentication and generic auth type in a minute. Here you'll need to make sure that send body is toggled on, and here you'll see the JSON, so you'll paste the query that we've just built. As the next step, you'll want to go back inside API and then click on API and API endpoint. So API endpoint. We'll choose this one, which is run actor. So we are going to copy the whole lot. And now we are going to set the method as post. And here we are going to copy the whole URL. So your whole URL is going to look like that. You'll have the token, the API token appended after the question mark. So you'll need to remove that, and I will show you how to set the credentials properly. Next, you're going to select generic credential types. You will select query auth, and here this is going to be empty if you don't already have query auth authentication. So you're going to create new credential. You will type token and paste. You'll click on expression just to make sure you can read what you are pasting. And that looks good. So you'll name it as query auth API so that you can reuse it later and save it. So that's basically all we need to do in order to trigger the scraper. Now we'll also need to collect the data after this has been scraped. So we'll go back inside n8n. We'll create a new workflow. We are going to use a webhook, which is going to be using a post method. So we'll get the production URL. Here you can check if this is the production URL or the test URL, because -test is appended in the test URL. So if your automations are not working, always double check that you don't have the -test in there. So we'll click on this URL, and then we'll go back inside API, and here you'll see that we have a tab that says integration. So we are going to click on integration, add integration. We are going to type HTTP, and here we'll have HTTP webhook. So this we want it to run when the actor is successful. And now we are going to paste the URL and save. So now each time we trigger the search workflow, as soon as the data is ready, it's going to be sent inside this URL. So inside this webhook. It's not going to send the data directly. It's going to send the default dataset ID, and then we are going to make a GET request in order to get the data. So this is what it looks like. So we get the data from the webhook. As you can see, we don't have a lot of data in there. But we have a very important piece of data, which is this one, default data set ID. That's the one we are going to use in the GET request. So now we are going to create a new HTTP node that's going to be a GET method. We are going to copy exactly that. So api.api.v2/datasets. And then that's our dataset ID/items and then question mark. As you can see here, I'm ending with a question mark. That means I will need to set the authentication using the query auth that I've just created previously. We don't need to pass the body. Now we are going to format the data because sometimes the data coming from API contains nested data. So we want everything to be flattened in order to be updated inside our table. So we are going to use a bit of code, which you can copy and paste if you are within the community. If not, I'll just show you slowly so that you can type it yourself. And next, we are going to save the data. So that's the new feature. We are going to click on this plus button and we are going to look for data. And here you will see that we have a new node, which is called data table. We'll get this one and we are going to use upset row. And now we are going to make sure that everything is updated when it matches a condition. So we are going to use the lead ID as the condition. We are going to use the value from the get API. And next we are going to map the data. So first name, last name, LinkedIn URL, summary, lead ID, company name, profile URL, and title. Next, we'll be making a call into Apollo's API. If you've never worked with Apollo's API, this is very straightforward. You just need to create an account, then create your API key, and then again, set the authentication like we've done previously. With Apollo, this is slightly different. Instead of token, this is x-api-key, and here the content of your API key. But this is exactly the same principle. In the query parameter, we'll not reveal personal emails because we don't use them. We are not going to reveal phone numbers. We are going to set the other parameters as no cache and then accept this application/JSON. We'll send the body. So the body is just using fields. So that's first name, last name, organization's name. And then based on that, Apollo is going to return the email addresses and the status of those email addresses. And we are now going to update the table. So we are going to use upset as well. We are going to use, obviously, this table. So B2B lead, when it matches all conditions, this is much safer. And here, as you can see, we are only going to upset the email and Gmail status. So very straightforward. This is powerful because we don't need to mess around with different integrations anymore. So if you are interested in seeing more lead gen strategies and lead gen tactics, you can head over to the community and we have a lot of different workflows that you can use. You'll also get the template and the table structure. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.